A young boy who helped a vampire and became a vampire himself. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'll show you a power-packed anime movie titled Kizumonogatari Part 1, Tekketsu. Spoiler alert, watch out and take care. Araragi was a second-year high school boy who was practically a loner. He stays alone and doesn't have any friends except the aliens he plays with. One day he was walking by the road beside the zebra crossing when he saw a young lady. The breeze blew up the girl's skirt and he saw her underpants. The girl commented that skirts shouldn't be worn to cover what shouldn't be seen, as shorts were the best. He apologized to her and told her he didn't see her body. He set out to leave immediately, without checking his back. The girl, Tsubasa, ran after him and caught up with him. She called his name, and he was shocked as to how she knew his name. She told him they attended the same school, Tekketsu High School, and they were in the same class. He called her name back. She asked how he knew her name, and he commented that she had straight A's in all the courses in their first year, and there was certainly no way he wouldn't know her name. She felt proud, and he told her it was his alien friends that told him her name. They sat down to talk together. She told him there's a rumor that a vampire is in town. She said that the vampire had blonde hair and she's very pretty. So much so that her eyes could captivate a person. Araragi said, a woman's eyes and beauty don't mean she's a vampire, and the lady in question might not be a vampire. Tsubasa said the lady doesn't have a shadow, and her hair shines whenever she walks under the streetlight. She said although it was a rumor, she wishes to meet the vampire if it certainly exists. She commented that he was very friendly and speaking with him was comfortable. She asked him why he didn't have any friends if he was that friendly. He said he didn't have friends because to him, friendship was a burden. You cry when your friend cries. You feel pain when your friend feels pain. Tsubasa commented that you also feel happy when your friend is happy. He told her he would only feel anxiety and jealousy when his friends are happy rather than feeling happy. She said he was weird. She asked if he would follow her to the school library, but he said he wasn't serious enough to go to the library during the summer break. She asked if he had plans of going to the university, but he said he wasn't even sure he would graduate high school. Before leaving him, Tsubasa wrote her phone number and email address on his phone and crossed the road. When he got back home, he couldn't take his mind away from her. He imagined her body he saw and kept thinking of her. He went to the library in hopes of seeing her. He took a book. On his way home by the subway, he saw blood everywhere, and a bloody footstep was all over the staircase. He followed the footsteps. Under the subway, he met the rumored vampire. She had lost a lot of blood, and her limbs and arms had been cut off by 3 vampire hunters, and she was on the verge of dying. The vampire, who calls herself Kissshot Acerola Orionheart Underblade, begged Araragi to please give her blood. He opted to call an ambulance, but she told him she doesn't need an ambulance. She said she was almost dying, and he should save her. He replied to her that vampires do not die. She said she had lost too much blood, that she can no longer regenerate the strength to transform. He decided to leave her there. He left, sat down somewhere, and reconsidered his choices. He went back to her and gave her his blood. He woke up and saw a young girl beside him. After an attempt to wake the girl up, he left the subway and went home. He went directly under the sun and felt as if he was on fire. Kissshot helped him and brought him to a shield. She told him she had taken all his blood and he was now a vampire. She looked smaller. She said the blood she took wasn't enough for her, so she had to take a form she could sustain. She told him he was now her servant, and he should ensure he doesn't go out under the sun again. She took him to an old school and showed him a tree. She said she was weak in energy, so she would definitely need his help. While she insisted she needed his help, he asked her if he could be transformed back into a human. She replied she knew he was going to ask, and yes, she can transform him back if only she regains all her power back. She told him she was slain by the 3 powerful vampire slayers, Dramaturgy, Episode, and Guillotine Cutter. She said the only way she could recover her energy is if she gets her limbs back from them. She asked Araragi to help her get her limbs back, and she would transform him back into a human. He refused. He said if they could cut off her limb despite how powerful she was, then they would kill him. She encouraged him that all he needs to do was to find them separately. She said if they were away from each other, then he can win. He sought out to find the vampire slayers. However, he met them together and not separately. They saw he was a vampire and they wanted to kill him. He was saved by an old man who asked him to go back to school and meet Kissshot. The man followed him there. He told Kissshot he met the Slayers together, and there was no way he could defeat them. He asked her that they hide for the time being. The old man introduced himself as Ashino. He said he was a mediator and he could help them in their fight with the Slayers. He agreed that he would help them if they gave him 2 million. Kissshot asked him what his plan was. He said the first stage was to separate the trio from each other so they can fight them individually. Kissshot believed Ashino and asked Araragi to help her find 2 million for Ashino. Although Araragi didn't have that much at the moment, he promised to find the money since Ashino said he doesn't need any collateral. They reach an agreement to fight the Slayers for the limbs. Thank you for watching the recap. Please remember to subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.